Good morning, neighbors. Thank you for joining me here at Creating in My Corner. I'm Alicia Dolan, and we are going to get started in just a moment with our coffee and a card. I missed Sunday's Stampin' Sunday card because of Mother's Day, and so I'm here on a Wednesday morning, hoping that some of you will be able to join me. Today we're going to be using the He's the Man suite from Stampin' Up. You can, if you have your catalog, you can find it on page 78. But it comes with some really awesome paper and great stamps. And so I hope that you will enjoy it as much as I do. I still don't see that it's showing up in my news feed, my live videos, so I hope that you can see me. And if not, I will post this later on YouTube, and I might even edit out all my talking here at the beginning, so that you don't have to sit through that. All right, I'm gonna turn the camera around and get started. Hopefully this is recording and going well. Let me know if you can see me or not, because I cannot tell this morning. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay. I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to get started with our coffee and a card for today. I'm going to try to move slowly so that no one gets any seasickness or anything. And here we go. Okay, I did not finish designing the whole card ahead of time, so I'm hoping that we can get through it. Again, I'm Alicia Dolan. This is Creating in My Corner. I'm so glad that you could join me this morning for coffee and a card. So this is what we're working on. We're working with the He's the Man suite. We have some rustic metallic adhesive back dots. We have our paper here, and this paper is really cool because it has all these little die cuts that come with it that you can use on your cards or in your scrapbook or wherever you would like. And then there are these really cool patterns, and I've turned them so that some are on the front and some are on the back, so that you can kind of get a glimpse of all the patterns. But I don't want to show you too much because we are going to get to work on our card, and that's going to take up the most of our time today. All right, so first we're going to start with a piece of Sahara sand that is, actually I set some aside so I could show you exactly all the steps. Our piece of Sahara sand is 8.5 by 11, and we are going to cut that in half at 5.5. And so then we have enough for 2 card bases. We can set one off to the side. And our piece, we're going to turn it. This was our half here. So we turn it sideways, and then we're going to score it at 4 1/4. Right there. And if you're familiar with the Stampin' Up trimmer, it has both a cutting blade and a scoring blade. So you always want to make sure that you're using the right one. I like to keep my cutting blade at the top and my scoring blade at the bottom. All right, and now we're going to fold our piece of cardstock in half and use our bone folder to press it nice and flat. And then we're going to cut a piece of Cajun Craze. So again, we have a piece that's 8.5 by 11. And this time we're going to cut a piece that is 5.25 by 4. And the reason that I cut the 5.25 first is because we could still use this other piece for another card base, which I probably will do later. So then we're going to turn it sideways and cut it at 4. And then that will make our next layer on this card. It's going to go just like that. Now this is one of the pieces of designer series paper that I really like. It's probably one of my favorites. So it's got a Cajun Craze stripe on one side, and this side is Sahara sand in black, but it's got little steers and brushes and silverware and bottles and a little smoker right there. I just thought that was a really cool pattern. So this is cut at 3 3/4 from side to side, and then we're going to cut it at 2.5. And you could swap out any of these colors or designer series papers for whatever you like better or have at home already. All right, so I'm going to put those off to the side, and you're kind of starting to get a feel for what our card is going to look like. We're going to put this at the top. All right, and I punched out one of these little grills with the flames. I think these are so cute, but I want to show you how easy it is to get these out of here, because they punch out so easy and they don't leave any of those little bumpy edges or anything. Do you see how easy I'm just pulling that right out? So there is our little grill. And then this suite comes with, if you get the suite, it comes with these die cuts. Let me put these back in there just so you can see what all it comes with. So these are really cool shapes, and I cut them all out earlier this morning because I thought they were so cool. Okay, so here is what these ones look like. These are really cool. I don't know exactly what they're supposed to be, but I love them anyways. Here is the circle, and I feel like you could use a lot of these shapes with any set. So here's the oval. This is one of the ones we're going to use in just a minute. There's a little, like a little sign, a little direction sign. There is a really nice rectangle, and I love how they have just a little bit of embossing around the edges too. That makes them nice. Now this one I cut out a little bit wrong, so you will see that I didn't measure it right. And this side right here, it got cut off a little bit, but it'll be fine. I'll use it somewhere. And then this one cuts out 2 of these little banners or flags. I love those little flags. Those are cute. And then it also has 2 of these little wavy flags. So one can go each way. But I thought those were really cool. Okay, so we're going to use this die cut here and this shape here. So let me, first what we need to do is I like to stamp before I die cut when that's an option. So that's what we're going to do next. I have a little scrap here of Sahara sand, and let me grab my Stamparatus because I already put everything in its place. Now, when I use my Stamparatus, I like to put a stamp set here on the left side, and I use the left plate. Now, you can use whichever side you want. It has 2 plates. One can go on the left, one can go at the top. You can turn it to the right. It just depends on how you like to stamp. And you can see that I already stamped my image right here. This is the one I'm using. Holy smokes, you're amazing, which I love, and I know exactly who I'm going to give this to for Father's Day. So I'm going to put this right over top of my where I stamped so that I know exactly where it's going. And I don't have a large Cajun Craze ink pad, so I'm going to use this little one that came with my paper pumpkin. One of my paper pumpkins. Now, today is also the last day to get the current paper pumpkin. So if you want to order it, today is the last day. Today is the last day, right? Because it's the 10th, I believe. Or is it the 11th already? Oh my gosh, you guys, I don't even know. It's the 11th. Okay, so never mind. You will have to be on to next month's paper pumpkin. And I will post about that in our group a little bit later, so you'll know what information I know about it. Okay, so there is our little saying. And I'm just going to stamp that down. And I'm going to use my chamois to clean it off, just in case I switch to another color later and I forget that I haven't cleaned it. So there is that. And I'm going to set this back to the side. I kept this stamp set with here. I love this new stamp set, but it's really just a tool today to help my stamparatus. So now I'm going to use my mini cut and emboss machine. This is so cool, you guys. If you get the chance to get one of these, it's really cool. And when I use it, I have found through trial and error and the advice of other demonstrators that I use this plate number 3. It's actually the embossing plate, but I like to use it best for cutting, not the other plate. So we're going to put our sentiment down and we're going to fit our little die around it. And then what I like to do is put the right side of my plate down first, whatever side is closest to the machine. And then when I press it down, I hold it together until that handle starts to turn, and then I let go. So you hold it together and push it in, and when the handle starts to turn, then you can wheel it the rest of the way through. That's just a trick I found that works for me. You might find that something else works better for you. All right, now I'm going to set that aside. And I wanted to do a little bit of layering since I had so many little die options. So next we're going to take this, which is kind of a little frame, and we're going to put this, well, I've got to make this a little bit smaller because my machine is small. Let's see. Is that gonna fit? Not quite. Okay, so we're gonna trim that a little bit. Not too much because I don't want to end up with a funny shape like I did earlier. All right, so let's measure this while we're at it. So pieces of paper that are, let's see, a little less than 3.5 inches wide will fit through here. So we're going to put this down. And I like to have the, whatever I'm cutting be kind of near the top. And I can't tell you exactly why, but I think they tend to scoot around less there. I can hold them together a little bit better. All right, so then we hold it together and push it in till that handle turns. And then we're gonna crank it through. Oh my gosh, isn't that so cool? Okay, so I really love these little shapes. I'm gonna set that to the side. I'm gonna put my die back over here on my, right in its home. And I have seen some great organizing videos about keeping your dies kind of on those magnetic, what are they? Magnetic vent covers. And they're really cool, but I haven't bought any yet. So mine are still unorganized, just floating around however they please. But someday I'm gonna be I'm gonna be organizing them, and they're gonna be fabulous. All right, so now let's start putting this together. We might have to do a little something more, but we'll see as we go. I'm gonna take my liquid glue, and when you're working with the liquid glue, you don't want to get too much. So you want a thin line around the edge, and then I always do a squiggle in the middle. And I just find that's what works for me. You may prefer the tape runner or a different way to use the glue. It's totally up to you. Or if you don't like this kind of adhesive, you can use whatever you like the best. So then we just press it down, and I like to turn it over and press from the other side, just because that adhesive glue doesn't dry right away, and every once in a while when I press it like this, it'll scoot a little bit and then it'll be crooked, and I don't like that. So I try not to let it do that. All right, so we're going to turn this over. And again with our liquid glue, we're going to put a skinny line around the edge and then a squiggle down the middle. And we can turn that over and get it in the center front of our card. And if we work fast, we can scoot it a little bit when we want to, and then open it up and press from the other side. Okay, and there is our card base, and we've got this that we're going to add on there. We've got our little barbecue, and then our little dots. But I think I'd like to have a little ribbon right here. So let me add the ribbon. Okay, and this is Early Espresso. I think it's suede. I think it's called suede. Oh, faux suede trim. There we go. And I am going to use, what am I going to use? I'm trying to think here. I need to just make this easy for myself, don't I? All right, so we're going to cut a little piece that's just a bit longer than our tag. First, and we need some mini glue dots. So I can find where I put those. I've been rearranging a little bit, and things are not in their place today. Hi, Karen. Thanks for joining me this morning. I just saw your comment. You've probably been there for a while, but I'm having a little technological difficulties this morning. I couldn't see at first if anyone was there or if I was in the news feed or what was going on. So I was just continuing on and hoping that someone will find value in this morning. All right, so here's our mini glue dots, and we're going to attach them to our ribbon. And if you put your ribbon over top and you press them down pretty good, then they should just peel right off with your ribbon. And we'll set them kind of in the middle here. And then all we have to do is just tuck them around the edges, and they'll be stuck in the middle. Now you can sneak a little glue dot in there if you want to, but we're going to put our saying over top, so you don't really need to. But what I am going to do is tie just a little knot right here. It's not going to be a bow because it's just not, but it's going to be a knot. It's just a knot. All right, so here is, oh, I must have used my scissors on something I'm not supposed to, because they're not quite as sharp as they should be. All right, so there's our little piece with our little bow. Knot, it's not a bow, it's a knot. I'm already forgetting my own rule. Okay. So now we're going to turn this over. We're going to grab our Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to use the mini ones this morning. So we'll put one at the top, one at the bottom, and peel off their little backs. And then we can stick this, oh, I wish that bow had stayed up like that, right over the top. Maybe we can fiddle with it just a little bit to make it stay. All right, and then we can put some dimensionals on the back. Now you could use the regular size dimensionals too, if that's what you have. I just like to use the mini ones with something that's a little smaller like this. Okay, so here is our little saying, and I want to put it right there. And let me put some little dimensionals on our barbecue grill. And we're going to put that right here in the corner. And then we can use some of these little rustic dots right down here, I think. Now that I put that there, I kind of wish it was up here, but it's a little too late for that. So I will, when I make the next one, I will move it around. So if you guys are making it along with me, then you can try and peel those up if you didn't stick your dimensionals down very tight. But if you did, then you may just want to leave them where they are. Okay, and then I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to pick up some of these rustic metallic dots, and I'm going to put them right down here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I think that's I think that turned out really cute for today. Oh, the other thing I think I might do is take my Wink of Stella brush, and I'm just gonna color in some of these little flames so they look a little tiny bit sparkly. Now this is really more for me than the person I'm giving the card to. I don't think he's gonna care if the flames are sparkly or not. He will not notice. But I will notice, and I want them to be sparkly. And I'm only coloring the Cajun Craze parts. There we go, you guys. I think it turned out really cute. I hope you can see that. I don't know if you can see the little sparkles of the flames or not, but they're really cute. Okay, so there is our card for today, for Coffee and a Card. If you have any questions about it, would you just send me a message? And if you're signed up for my email list, I will be sending out the instructions for this by Friday. So you should receive an email by then. If you don't, let me know. I'll see you later, everybody. Thanks for stopping by this morning, and thanks for creating with me. Have a great week. Bye.